Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we are going back to the Vengeance deck to try to see if we can make it better than it was before. If you're interested to see what kind of awesomeness we can do to this deck, stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, your spiritual voodoo daddy, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you.
Filmed before a live studio audience.
Thank you so much. Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you once again from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck of my own creation called, in this case, Vengeance V2. Or I'm supposed to say that right, aren't I? Vengeance V2. All right, so this all kind of comes from two things. Number one, I was, while I was taking a look at the last Vengeance deck, I said, here's some things we should probably do that would make this deck a little bit better. And secondly, I got an email from David Tatum who said, hey, what I'd really recommend is Gith Yawgmoth Praetor. That dude would be space awesome. I'm kind of summarizing it here. You take out a Swamp, a Breach of Multiverse, and an Okiba Reckoner Raider to put in those 3 copies of Gix. And so I did. I tried it out. If you take a look at the list right now, you know what you won't see? Gix. Now, here's the reason why. Because, Gix was great. Gix, what it was is all about being more of a card draw engine, right? Because anytime you do combat damage to a player, you can pay life, and you can draw an additional card. And lets you draw a lot of cards, potentially. The problem I had with this deck is what I kept coming to over and over again, which is I need life gain. Life gain is what I really needed. And, I need to do something, like maybe vampire spells, where you do a point of damage to somebody, and then you get that in life or something. I needed something permanent. And the problem is Gix is going the opposite direction. So I ended up implementing David's recommendations as far as removing 1 Swamp, 1 Breach of the Multiverse, and 1 Okiba Reckoner Raider. We have tuned those down a little bit. That left 3 slots open. What I did is we put in 3 Grave Lighters instead. And we'll talk about what the Grave Lighters do in a little bit. And I'll also talk about why. Also, then I took out Virus Beetles, which there were 2 of them before, and I put in the Spectrum Sentinel, and we'll talk about why those guys are awesome. So, what did I remove? I removed 1 of these, 1 Swamp, and 1 of the Okiba Rat cards, or whatever. We got rid of 2 of the discard cards, and we put in these guys instead. All right, so is this a better deck? I think so. I think so, definitely. All right, so what we're going to do really quick is we're going to power through what these cards do, and then we'll take this deck out, and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got? We got Creature Kill. We got some Vampirism to get our life up early on, if we can get this thing in our opening hand. Plus, you get a Menace 2/2. We don't have any vehicles, so whatever. It's just a guy with Menace and 2/2. Now we got Spectrum Sentinel. Let's talk about this guy particularly. He is a 1/1 for 1. And just anything. You can use Mishra's Foundry to pay for him, right? He's got protection from multicolored, meaning if it's like a 7/7 and it's got more than 2 colors in it, this guy can block it and nothing will happen to him. So this guy is incredible. I don't know why we don't play him more often for what he is. He's also a 1/2, so that means even if he's played early and you're going against something with 1 for power, that means you can block it and his big old 2 butt is going to totally hold it back. And lastly, whenever a non-basic land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, which happens all the time, you gain life. Which means if you had both of these guys out, you'd be able to gain 2 life in a turn from these guys. I kind of think we maybe need to get 4 of them, but we'll see. We'll see. Right now, this feels like an okay blend, but if anything, this guy might need to be zooked up a little bit. I think he's pretty fantastic. He's so cheap, has so much going on for him. Let's see, we got going against basically forcing a discard, but even better, revealing your opponent's hand. There is so much value in taking a look at what your opponent has going on. Creature and Planeswalker Kill. This one kills creatures. If something already died this turn, then you get to draw a card instead, and you get a. And regardless, you could have a flying 2/2 if you choose not to sacrifice this one creature. Could sacrifice something else instead. So yeah, there's a lot going on with Gravelighter. It's always good. It's not because it's sometimes if it's the only card you put out, it just kills a creature. So it doesn't feel like it's a real good one. But if you play it right, this card's got a lot of value. Urborg Scavengers. I kept trying to talk myself out of this card. But it's like the question is who is better, Urborg Scavengers or the Graveyard Trespasser? They both go and rip up people's graveyards when it comes into play and attacks. This guy gets stronger every single time. You put a +1/+1 counter on it whenever you exile a target card from a graveyard. So this guy gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The other one, gives you a life and takes it away? There's value there. Plus he wolfs out. But this one can also gain the abilities of the cards that it's sucking up. So you can go either or, but this one's played a lot less. I think that, therefore, we should play it, just make it new and interesting. Urborg Scavengers, I think, is good. Creature Kill. This one is a card draw engine that loses you life. That's rough, man. I can see why Gix is good if you have Shoulder around for the same reason why Sheoldred and Phyrexian Arena works. This deck was just, I kept dying because I would kill myself. Or at least I'd be lessening my life so quickly that it was too easy for opponents to kill me. We need more life gain and less self-sacrifice. Still, this one is too good to pass up. Soul Transfer, which exiles target creature or planeswalkers, so that's great. Or you can return creature from your planeswalker, from your graveyard to your hand. Weird Sisters, a Swiss Army knife, which does card draw, and it kills creatures. Each person has to sacrifice one. And it becomes a 3/4 flying Death Touch Lifelinker, which can pump itself up, as well as every other flying Death Touch or Lifelinker that you have. Shoulder's got Death Touch in a 4/5. She's got a ginormous Godzilla butt. Look at that thing in the drawing. But she also gives you life when you draw cards and costs your opponent lives when they draw cards. This is the major engine for this deck. Junji comes out, flying menace 5/5. Whenever it dies, you can choose to bring Shoulder back from the graveyard to the battlefield. That's really just what you're doing. Man, if you don't have Shoulder there, bring back a Gravelighter and kill something else. I don't know. You got lots of options. We don't have that many creatures in this deck now I look at it. It's not a really heavy creature deck. Still, anything that's not dragon, which is everything you have, everything else you have, you can bring back. You can also bring back things from somebody else's graveyard if you really like their stuff better than yours. Junji is probably, to me, the best of the Kamigawa dragons, just because of that ability. I don't even care about the opponent discard 2 cards and loses 2 life. That's cool, but man, bringing back a non-dragon from a graveyard, that's the way to go. And Breach the Multiverse. Man, if you get up to 7 or more mana, you're looking for something awesome to do, and this is here. We don't really have any way of ramping to 7 mana. I hate it when you get a lot of mana and everything costs 5 or less, and you're just like, I don't know, I just don't have anything to do. This is a game-ending card right there. This will allow you to get out 2 permanents, one from your graveyard and one from somebody else's, which means that you will be able to start smacking people around with the best of the best at that point, generally. So we got 2 of them. That's what it's all there for. Mishra's Foundry. I've won so many games with this card. It hides by not being a creature, not on your opponent's turn, and you can use it to just keep killing your opponents. We got 1 Kamigawa to return things to the graveyard back, so we got Graveyard Recursion, keep allowing us to get back to more Junjis or Sholdreds or Gravelighters, whatever we need to do. All right, so that's the deck. What are we going to do? We're going to kill creatures just all the time. We're going to make ourselves big, and then we're going to just keep attacking them for as much as we can. We don't got a lot of vampirism, but we do have a little bit of lifelink to hopefully keep us in the game. Will this be enough to hold us together? I believe so. Before we go out to check this out, let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Dear Black King Toxrill, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentation of the women. All right, playing against Plum. Let's go. Thank you for keeping your cat over there. He's smoking. I don't really want to smoke up the inside of my place. You can put him over here in the fireplace, I suppose. Alright, let's see what we can rip apart out of his hand. What's he at there? Everything's kind of dumb. Let's just get rid of Squee. Okay, we put the Urborgs down. We can rip Squee out of there. And he's got haste. Boy, two of them would just go nuts. Thing is, we put out the Weird Sisters. Alright, I'm down to 8. We're gonna Weird Sister it. Let's transform. That's fine. Alright, so the whole point here is we will chump, get life gain out of it. Don't care. It's still dead. Alright, here's a Junji. All in. Down to 5. You sure you think you want to keep this fight up? No, you don't. Victory! Alright, playing against Rattleball. Whatever a rattle is. And we got 2 mana. Let's keep it. And a cat pooping in my grass. Get off the grass. Get off it. Ew, that's gross. That's not kitty litter. Right there. That's the guy whose brain we're going to pick. Alright. Alright, so we don't need to flood the board. We do need to get this out there. Alright, 4. Let's do this. Give him something to shoot at. If he decides not to, he'll put out a non-basic land, get it some life. But we get to draw a card. Alright, that wasn't quite worth it. Alright, 5. Let's go ahead and let's Junji this place. We can go after his cards in his hand with Junji, which isn't too bad. Unfortunately, I think the exile prevents their ability. Well, let's go ahead and draw a card out of the deal. Oh, wait, he didn't die. Dang it. He exiled, which was completely different. Alright, we'll go ahead and kill that thing off in a second. Being bounced. Alright. Come on, draw me something good. Alright, I don't like the Planeswalker. Another Sentinel, and let's just get rid of that out of his hand. Jeez, people, come on. Life. Excellent. All right, here we go. Sholdred. Got another one of these. Pop this out. Let's go get some dinner on here. All in. I could have pumped it up with that other Mishra's Foundry. I just forgot completely about it. Yeah, draw them cards. Oh, put them into your hand. Not the same as drawing for some reason. You gonna try to kill my lands? Is that the deal? Jeez. That's enough of this stuff, right? Alright, let's go all in. Next to blockers. Down to 8. It'd be nice to pull something other than mana at this point. Alright, what can we do here? 1. 2. Pop it up. Down to 4. All right, you got your card. What are you going to do? I'd say you'd probably be drawing cards again. You hate what you got, looking for something better. And we win! In your face, Rattleball. In your face. All right, playing against I Am Oceans. And keep it. We got a long way to go till we can play anything. Alright, next turn. Nothing to grab. Get in the pod. Get your bare butt in the pod. Alright, if I was him, I'd go after shoulders at this point. I can feel him looking at my cards. Those weeping angels standing behind him. Womp. I'll attack. Where? Who do we have here? He's got vigilance. Why isn't he? Oh, because he didn't start off with vigilance. Another one. It's same as before, man. He's got flying now. All right, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, grab the Urborg Scavengers, man. Oh, you're grabbing Sholdred. Crazy time. Womp. Yeah. It'd be great if I grabbed his ability, he can snag somebody. Alright, it's down to 4. We're at 20. Is this mono white soldiers? Mono white humans? Man, we just ripped mono white humans apart. Break up. Alright, we're playing against Gelandara. 2 mana. I believe we're going to get a 3rd mana. That's all we need. I keep toying with the idea of taking out the Pilfers, but the ability to reveal their hand is so powerful. Alright, mono white soldiers. Let's see what we can do about his hand here. Alright. Alright, so let's see, this guy would come out as a 3/3. He has the ability to just ossify him. Never to be seen again. Never to be seen again. Here comes the ossification. Oh, Stallion. He's got both going on. Exile. I mean, we're taking the hits. Don't we're not doing well, but who's he gonna give up on? All right, and whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, it's 2 mana. All right. This one's more worthy of being sacrificed upon the altar of Urborg. A little bit of life. Okay, so if I do this, it means I have to block it. I have to. That's fine, man, right there. There we go. That's not going to do it. I might do it a little bit. All right. That's a rough place to call at this point. No attacks. I'm just really hoping to get some creature kill here. More than likely, I'll be dead before I can do 18 points of damage, though. First strike. Can I kill him in 3 turns or less? Not looking good. Going back up to 5, though. That's cool. How did that happen? Oh, that guy injected me with 3. Clear the board. Alright, now who's at 1, Vinny? You gotta be able to block flying, man. And they'd have to have 2 more of them. And we win! Suck it, Christopher Christopherson. Suck it. Alright, playing against Yellow. Yeah, Yellow. 2 mana. Keep. Alright, we're going to go against his hand. We'll see if we can... Oh, I can't do that. Alright, Okiba. That's what we'll do. We'll take that out next turn. I can say if we could pull out the single drops right now, that'd be sweet, but he probably is loaded with single drops at this point. It's either a oh, let's see what we can take out. What is the deal? All right, Rebel Salvo is 3 Chandra. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Let's give her Chandra. Okay, we can thin out his creature base there. He's got a lot of things he's shooting with. Oh, that was a really bad idea. It was going to be dead anyway, baby. Got another one. Yeah, that salvo's not good. Need more mana to get out shouldered. Capture planeswalkers? No, it's just creatures. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put out this guy. Let's get rid of that card. That's the deal. I've just been so scared of Rebel Salvo this entire time. Got another one. All right, here's a Sheoldred. Here's a Sentinel. All right, then you can suck it now. Alright, I'm just going to kill her. She's at 7. Let's take this one down, because why not? And we win! Suck it, mono red! In your face! Alright, so here we are with Vengeance V2. And I think it definitely was an upgrade over the last Vengeance deck. I think that the Spectrum Sentinel was a great addition. For the little bit of life that he did provide, I thought he was great. Fantastic. Let's talk about that again. What was so great about this? The fact that when people are playing non-basic lands, which is a lot of them, you gain a life. It has protection from multicolored. There's a lot of single-colored cards out there, but still, there's a bunch of multicolored, and he is protected from all of that, which means he is a fantastic defender against multicolored cards. And he's got a 2. So for a 1-drop, he's got a big old butt. That means he can fight up against 1/1s. Anything that has 1 for toughness, he'll be able to defend it off. He is a great 1-drop. He's good in any deck. I think he's a great one in this mono black deck right there. The other thing we put in here was, what was it? Grave Lighters. I liked the fact that they were flying 2/2s, that they were basically a creature kill, undirected, unfortunately. But and then the thing is, if something died and you could play it right, you'd get a card draw. Because that was the thing that we were really looking for, was a little extra card draw, a little extra creature kill. Worst case scenario, also a flying 2/2. Can't turn a nose up away at that. All right, so, but once again, Junji and Sheoldred just working great together. I love the fact that I can have Sheoldred come out, Sheoldred get killed, Junji come out, Junji get killed. Junji brings Sheoldred back. I love that when that happens. Absolutely. So not quite as much, what am I going to say, discard as we had before, because we dropped the something beetles. Let's see if I can find out what that was. We dropped the virus beetles. That's what we dropped to put in the Spectrum Sentinels. And I think that was a good trade for this card. I think it did a lot better. So we have a little bit more creature control. We got more life gain, which is what I'm looking for. And that's the end of it. Another thing is that, David Tatum said, hey, man, you really need to put more Gixes in there. What my problem with Gix is I need life gain, and Gix is life drain to yourself. He cost me my life too much, and it was not worth it. I thought that Spectrum Sentinel for the life gain was great, and that to be able to potentially draw a card, I thought the Gravelighter was a great addition. But what I really wanted was more creature removal, and Gravelighter definitely fixed that particular hole. All right, so I thought this was a better balance. There we have it. Who was our MVP? What was it that really made the deck go? I'm going to say it was Sheoldred the Apocalypse as the engine of destruction. That's the thing that turns things around, because you start gaining life and starts chewing away at people without attacking. Sheoldred is the way to go. Before that, we are really just controlling things. The other MVP, Phyrexian Arena. And Sheoldred turns that around, because this one makes you draw cards. This one makes you and lose a life. This one will gain you 2 life every time you draw a card. So you just net 1. as you do that. So between it's Sheoldred that makes everything else in here better, but Phyrexian Arena is the card draw engine that gets you to all the cards that you need otherwise. All right, was this deck competitive? I just played it a bunch. The most recent incarnation, I played it in ranked play, and I have a 56% win rate. 56, just over 50%. Yeah, I think it was competitive. It was the equal of any Platinum Mythic deck out there. It's pretty tight. It just depends who you're playing against. Counter spells, that was my big problem. I just couldn't stand playing against counter spells. There were 2 counter decks I just gave up on. So we should really drop 2 from that list. Let's do the math real quick here. See if we can figure this one out. So I played 7 games and I won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what? 5 divided by 7 is 71% win rate. Yeah, if you get over the fact that I just refuse to play against counterspell decks. So anyways, you're going to play against counterspell decks. It's up to you to determine whether this deck's going to be able to just grind through them or not. I just can't. I just can't anymore. I can't. I've done it enough. What did I lose to? I lost to a mono red that was way too fast. And I was doing really well, but no, they just, they shoot you in the face once you're lower than 5, and that's the end of it. And I lost to a mono black deck. I don't remember that game very well. But other than that, this deck held up. I beat 2 mono red decks, 2 mono whites, including soldiers, or mono white humans and mono white soldiers. Just beat their butts. And I did take out an Esper. It was all good. So this deck is competitive, in my opinion. I think it is a good deck, competitive-wise. Let's see, was it a fun deck? Yeah. My big problem with the deck is when it says, I'm not going to give you anything in your opening hand that's under 3 mana. I dislike that. So there's not a lot going on in rounds 1 and 2. As you can see, we got Pilfer, Shoal-Z-Edict. We got a bunch of creature removal. Really, Okiba Raid Reckoner is probably the best you can get in your opening hand. I'm still good with getting Spectrum Sentinel as well. But there's not a lot here. These are all 2s and 3s. So you start really pounding in on the 3s, and then you don't have anything to do for the first 2 rounds. It may be worth it pumping these up a little bit, but man, I don't want to. We're kind of spread thin as it is. It seemed like it worked great most of the time. But yeah, those aggro decks, sometimes if you get a bad draw, because you don't know what you're playing against. Sometimes you're playing against control or whatever. Yeah, you can live through it. No big deal. You're going against aggro, which you have no idea whether you're doing it or not. You don't want to have 3 mana in your opening, your 3 mana cards or greater in your opening hand only. You want to have something on the low end just to kind of keep you in some stuff early on. Otherwise, you're toast. Let's see, was this deck interesting? I was nice coming back to it. I did enjoy building it again. What was interesting to me is to see Spectrum Sentinel get played. I'd never seen it before. Maybe I saw somebody play it recently, but for whatever reason, I was looking for life gain. And I think that his abilities are pretty top shelf. For a single drop of colorless mana, I mean, you can play with anything. You got a guy who will give you 1 life for every non-basic land that enters the battlefield. How are we not playing this card more? How is this not being played all the time? There is so many non-basic lands being played all the time. You would just easily score, 5 to 7 mana or life by that guy alone if you can keep him out. And then who cares? It's a 1/2 with protection from multicolored. Just, I would leave it alone. I would just throw guys at him just to see if they want to block, but still, you're probably going to gain a lot just by having him standing there. This guy is pretty awesome. If I had an enchantment that just did his bottom part, I would pay for it, absolutely. It'd be fantastic. But the fact that he's a creature makes you think, oh, he's a creature, I'm not going to get a lot of attacks on him. No, man, that is excellent. Whenever a non-basic land enters the battlefield under opponent's control, you gain 1 life. Great. It's for the cost, that is so fantastic. Incredible. Maybe it'd be nice if you grew him a little bit, but then we start fighting with him. I don't know. He's cool as he is. So that's the interesting card right there. I'm also a little interested that we're still keeping the Weird Sisters, the Henrika. I just can't get over the fact that she's a Swiss Army knife, and she has the ability to basically act like a grave lighter. It's slow, though. That's the problem. They can eliminate it before you get to combat. and that way it doesn't actually happen. But still, that or a little card draw. I mean, we got a lot of that repeating over and over again. It's creature kill and card draw, creature kill, card draw. This deck is doing a good job of getting to it. The only guy that we could potentially pass out, maybe take this one gone and put in the what is he? He's just 6'4", that when he attacks, they can choose to take him out of attacking. It's a brawler, bruiser, I forget. But he's incredibly good at being a card draw engine. It's just that all they can do is defense for the vast majority of the time. I think he's good when you combo him with something that, like you need to get a guy up to 7 so that you can get the effect to occur. But we don't have anything like that going on. So for what he's doing, Gravelighter and the 3 Ridge Sisters, I think these 2 cards are very much almost the same kind of thing. Except for you get flying Death Touch Lifelink when it's done. Other than that, you just get a flying 2/2 when this guy's done. All right, so let's count it up. Is it competitive? Yes. Is it fun? Yeah, it is. Is it interesting? For being the last day before the new meta? Absolutely. Absolutely. I found this to be an incredibly interesting deck. There we go. I'm not going to give it an A+. That sounds self-serving since this is a deck I did make on my own. So we are going to refer to this as an A deck. I would highly recommend you play it. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope you have as much fun with it as I did. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.